All right, this is a caliper, and I'd never be without it when I'm measuring eyebrows. There's a lot of measurements that you can do to ensure that your eyebrows are going to be symmetrical. Even though each side of our face is different, you can make the eyebrows look as symmetrical as you can. They're not going to be perfect. So the first thing is you want to measure from the dimple in the nose up, and that's where your eyebrow starts. Right there. Now, we used to do it from the end up, but a lot of ethnic noses are too wide, and when people get older, their nose kind of gets wide. So if we take it from the dimple, you'll be more spot on. And we're going to measure this one straight up too. So you're just going to make sure this is where you're going to mark it, where your eyebrows. So you're going to see that this is where they're going to start, okay? Now, you can move them further out if you need to be, because sometimes people have very narrow bridges on their noses. It doesn't look right. This is just for instance. So the other measurement, and we all know that the trunks, which is the beginning of the eyebrow, and the tails should be straight across. You don't want a tail that's lower or up too high. Although a lot of people like the tail up a little bit higher, it gives them a wide-eyed look. But this is what you're going to do now. You're going to measure this and this. You're just going to make a mark. You can do it with a white pencil or whatever you want to. Now we have our measurements for how close they're going to be, and they're going to be both the same. So this dot was a little bit down here. You want to make the dot up here so you don't go down too low. Now, the next measurement, and this is one of the most important ones. We all know that one eyebrow and one side of our face is shorter, more smashed in, whatever you want to call it. But the good eyebrow is always the one that goes up and around the brow bone. This one would be the lazy one, shorter. This one would be the more perfect one. So what you want to do is you want to, after you mark them, this was done with a stencil. So we have it marked. Now, to see if we're going to be okay, you're going to start from the trunk and measure right there where the arch starts. Now, you'll notice on this side, the arch starts too soon. This will be prevalent no matter how many eyebrows you do. There's always going to be a short one, and there's always going to be the right one. So this arch has to be moved over to there. So see the difference? Now, when you move this the arch over, it's going to look more like the other eyebrow. So we have to kind of make this more low, and then this has to be moved over this way, okay? Now, another way you can test this is you can measure exactly how wide both eyebrows are. Put it right here. This is a new caliper, so it's a little bit hard to adjust. Then you're going to mark right in the middle. So she's 12 inches across. 6 will be right in the middle, right here. Now, this doesn't have to be really, really 100% on, but you get the idea. So you're going to take this trunk, and you're going to match it to that. And you're going to match that to this trunk. Now, as far as I can see, this trunk starts over too far. See, here's your middle mark, and there's your trunk. Here's your trunk. Oh, I didn't go down far enough. And there's your middle mark. So, okay, they are symmetrically right now, providing that you remember to mark this one, and then your tail's going to be slightly different. And then I'm just going to color this in so we can look at it kind of upside down. I always look at my brows upside down. In fact, I do a lot of my brow work upside down, like an esthetician, from behind and from the side. So I'm going to look at this, and what we're looking for is the fact that both arches are going to be at the same spot. So this one just has to come out a little bit thicker, but I think you see my point. Both arches are going to be in the same place, so naturally that means that both eyebrows are going to look alike. And the most important part, let me turn this around, is the look from here to the arch. The tails, they matter, but if you get these two marks right, you'll always have good eyebrows. Now, the hint about the tails is you want to make sure that one isn't too high and one's too low. So let's take this tail. Let's pretend this is her eye. She wears Latisse. She's growing her eyelashes. So that's the measurement from the end of her eye with her eyes closed to the tail, okay? Now you bring it over and you measure the same thing without moving your caliper, the end of the eye. So this one looks like it's higher. So now we're going to bring this one down a little bit. Okay? So now she should have the right measurements. I think I'll probably think of something later, but basically the most important measurement, like I said, is from where you start the trunk to the arch. Where you start the trunk to the arch. Once you get that and you look at it upside down, it's going to be like a perfect picture. I should put it over here. Okay?